What's up, guys? Lazy Gorilla here, bringing you our first top 5. And since it's our first top 5, I decided to tell you guys my top 5 favorite Pokemon. So, just as a disclaimer or whatever, I don't use legendaries in my top 5 right now, or along the line. Whenever I feel like making a top 5 legendary, but I'm not going to use them at regular time. Alright, so without further ado, let's jump right into it. Coming in at number 5 is Charizard. Alright, so Charizard was my very first Pokemon. I got my first Pokemon game back when it first came out over in the US. I was I want to say I was like the last year of preschool, so I was almost in kindergarten. And so yeah, I kept begging and begging my parents to just buy me this Pokemon game, because everybody was talking about it and everybody had it. So I finally got my parents to buy me Pokemon Red, and I saw I didn't know at the time, but Charizard was on the front. I thought he was a really cool Pokemon, what he looked like. And so when I saw Charmander, I was like, oh wow, he looks just like the Pokemon on the little cartridge. So I got him, named him Chari. Yeah, Chari. And even though it was Brock's first gym, it was completely our downfall. It didn't matter, because Chari just destroyed it. And it's just a lot of fond memories, just growing with Chari, helping him evolve into a Charizard. And just knowing once he became a Charizard, wow, I raised this. It's more nostalgia than anything. So that is why Charizard is number 5. Coming in at number 4 is Gengar. Yes, Gengar. It's another Gen 1 Pokemon, and it's sort of like Charizard's, how it's back from my childhood, but this is a little different. Alright, so the reason why I chose Gengar as number 4 is because back in the day, the only way to get Gengar was to trade through the little 3-foot cord shit you put on your Game Boy. And me being almost in kindergarten, I barely talked to anybody really. I was sort of the quiet kid in school, so I didn't really talk to anybody in kindergarten. But once Pokemon came out, really, and I saw other kids were talking about Pokemon and like how they couldn't get one Pokemon, and I heard one kid had a Haunter, and I actually had a Machop. I had Machop, and he really wanted a Machamp, and I wanted a Gengar. So yeah, and then 18 years later, and that kid's still my best friend. So what I'm trying to say is, I feel like that sort of opened me up being more social. So yeah, that's why Gengar is number 4. Coming in at number 3 is Sharpedo. Sharpedo's just been one of those Pokemon where, as soon as Gen 3 came out, I loved him. I mean, my favorite fish is actually a shark, and just leaving out Garchomp, which he's a land shark, but Sharpedo, I think he's the only shark Pokemon we have. But yeah, they're my favorite fish, so when I saw Sharpedo, I instantly fell in love. I love his design, but the only thing I have to say about Sharpedo, he does look a little incomplete. But yeah, that's a later top 5, a later date, later time. So yeah, that's why he's at number 3. number 2 is Whale Lord, the big ass motherfucking whale himself. Alright, so the reason why I have Whale Lord as number 2 is because whales are my favorite animal. You know how sharks are my favorite fish, but my overall animal is whales. The reason why I like whales are just because my childhood again. A lot of these Pokemon relate to my childhood a lot, but yeah, whales. I remember as a child there was this movie called Free Willy, and I used to watch it over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's so much that I actually when my mom was taking a nap, when I was supposed to be taking a nap, I was 3 years old. I snuck up and tried to climb on top of the dresser and try to turn on the TV, and everything fell, and I ended up behind the dresser, and my mom started freaking out. But yeah, that's how addicted I was to Free Willy. And yeah, whales are my favorite animal, and Whale Lord, he's like the only whale, so it only makes sense. I mean, there's Kyogre, but he's a legendary, and like I said before, I don't do legends on this top 5, so oh well. So that's why he's number 2. Alrighty, time for number 1. For number 1, if you guys already knew, is actually my channel's mascot, Slugking. Yeah. The reason why I like Slugking, he's my favorite Pokemon, is because he's a gorilla. Gorillas just don't give a fuck. And his mentality of, like, I don't give a fuck, you can do whatever. And then, just how lazy he is. It's just, like, you know, if someone just doesn't give a fuck while there's like fire-breathing dragons in front of you, and they're just sitting there picking his nose, you know he has power behind him. I mean, and that just proves it, because even though his ability makes it so he can only attack every other turn, when he does attack, things are dying. You can't stop Slugking. And on top of that, Slugking is fast when he wants to move. It's crazy. He actually he's motivated me, even because I'm a big guy. Ever since I first saw him, he just motivated me to be like, yeah, you can be a big guy and move fast. You can still keep up with stuff, and I proved it all through high school. Yeah, I was in football, and yeah, so I'm not that typical like nerd, like, oh my god, he's Pokemon, and just nerd like everybody thinks all Pokemon people are. But yeah, I was in football, so I guess that sort of made me cool quotations. But yeah, Slugking motivated me to pursue that, and yep. That's why he's number 1 and my mascot. Alright, that's my top 5, and you guys stayed this long. I mean, thanks guys. I really appreciate it. And you guys stayed this long, you obviously sort of like this, I guess. But if you did, go ahead and hit that thumbs up with your fists, and go ahead and look out my other content. Today's Saturday, so I have 2 episodes of Pokemon Snakewood Orderlocke, and a Pokemon Showdown OU Laddering episode. So go ahead and check those out. I'm going to put those links in the description. And hit the subscribe button. I'm going to do this every Saturday. I'm going to try to do it every Saturday. If I don't do this every Saturday, I'm going to have another laddering episode up on Saturday. But if I can't do it, it's going to be every other Saturday. I mean, it's a guaranteed every other week. So, yeah. go ahead and stick around, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and stay lazy, my friends.